Here at Paddy Power, we're the home of the Money Back Special, with some incredible offers every single week. Check out the website or app today. Terms and conditions apply. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
Welcome along to the Racing Post Weekend Racing Postcast. It's Bruce Millington, Tom Collins, Paul Kealy and Paddy Power's Darren Hughes. Cheltenham is almost over, but the racing show goes on and the ITV cameras are at Uttoxeter and Kempton on Saturday. We will be picking out the best bets there. Then we'll do a review of this fantastic week at Cheltenham, and we will also see if any of the boys have got one for the classics this summer, because we're only 3 weeks away from the Greenham, believe it or not. But first up, let's look at the big race on Saturday. It takes place at 3:35 at Uttoxeter. It is the Marston's 61 Deep Midlands Grand National. 4 miles, 2 furlongs, a gruelling slog in what is bound to be soft conditions before the lads tell us who they fancy. Darren, take it away with a show from Paddy Power.
Sure thing, Bruce. So we have American and Miss Parfois as our 6-1 joint favourites. Ballydyne is 7-1. Folsom Blue is 9-1. Arthur's Gift is 9-1. Chef Douvray is 10s. Back to the Tatch is 10s. Ballymain is 10s if he gets in. Polygundry's Dawson City is 12s. Milan's Bar is 12s and it's 14s Bar.
As if we haven't had enough head-scratching puzzles all week to try and solve here at Cheltenham. We've got another one on Saturday, Kills. Have you decided to let this one through to the wicket keeper, or have you played a shot?
Easy, this one, isn't it? Really is easy. You need a horse that's proven in gruelling conditions over the trip. Step forward, Barney Frost, Milan's Bar, won the Warwick Classic last year by 11 lengths under her. She only rode it one more time, nursed it round into 5th in the Grand National. She's back on for the first time, gets its conditions for the first time this season, off a mark £3 higher than when he won the Warwick Classic. Has been second in this race in 2016 and last year. This is his year. It's great price, 12-1.
Well, let's hope he stays as well as Kills. I've been with Kills all 4 days at Cheltenham, and the man is an absolute machine. I've been staggering up to bed pathetically early, just as Kills uncorks another bottle of wine, and it just disappears. I don't know how you do it. Mind you, I think you are flagging now in the final furlong, aren't you?
Yeah, I attempted to have a pint this morning, and I started to shake, so I thought I better not. So that'll be it for the day. We're taking it easy.
Right, one of the young guns at the Racing Post who's only just got here, but he had a big win yesterday, so hopefully full of confidence. Tom, who wins the Midlands Nash?
As Kiel said, you need a real good stayer to win this race, and I think Folsom Blue is just that for Gordon Elliott. Elliott's had a few winners here this week. Hopefully he'll have a couple of winners today as well, with Dallas Picton and a few others. Folsom Blue's proven over a long trip. Finished 5th in the Irish National off £2 higher. Well in off a mark of 144. Davy Russell's book, which is a notable booking, because you'd think you just want to get back to Ireland based on how he's ridden this week, really. And I think he'll go close at 9-1.
Okay, and Darren, who's your fancy?
My fancy is one I've put up before on the postcast. It's Dawson City for Polygundry. We'll love the conditions, soft ground. The trip will definitely suit. Has some interesting back form with Thomas Patrick as well, which is obviously of massive importance. And the win last time at Exeter has since been franked by Samuel Jackson. So I think the form is strong, should appreciate the conditions, and I expect him to go very, very close.
Okay, rather than go through all the TV races, I'm just going to see if the lads have got one more on the Uttoxeter TV card. Then we'll look at Kempton, and then we'll get the naps. Kills, who else should we be backing under the glare of the ITV cameras at Uttoxeter?
Yeah, well, Emma Lavelle won the Stayers Hurdle on Thursday. She's got a horse called Darasha Counter, who I actually fancy for the Kim Muir, but apparently the plan was always to go to Uttoxeter. Likes softish ground. Last 2 runs are really, really good. The runs of an improving horse. Beat Walt in a novice handicap chase at Newbury. Walt obviously went on and win the big handicap at Kempton, and then ran second to Now McGinty, giving £6, and Now McGinty was second in the Reynoldstown chase after that. Only went up £1 for that last run. I think that's he's got a really good handicap mark of 140.
That's Darasha Counter in the 225. Tom, who's your fancy?
Well, Bryony Frost was absolutely perfect on Frodon, and she rides a horse called Nearly Perfect for Neil King in the 150 at Uttoxeter. King had a horse called Sackett entered in this race, and Sackett would have won. But I think he's sticking with just Nearly Perfect. Bryony Frost, good booking. Nearly Perfect faced Downtown Getaway last time out. Stood absolutely no chance, because that's a good horse for Nicky Henderson. Stepped down in class and should win.
And what have you got for us, Darren?
It's just a horse I'm excited to see tomorrow. It's a horse of Anthony Honeyball's called Hideaway Vic. We haven't seen him since November. He made his debut over hurdles, and at the time they were probably a little bit disappointed, but in the fullness of time has proved to be okay. He was third behind Emma Tom and Lisnager Oscar, which is obviously brilliant for him. Now he's since had a wind up, and I think he is suited to soft ground, so I am excited to see him tomorrow, because I think they think a lot of him.
And which race is he in?
Sorry, he's in the 410 at Uttoxeter tomorrow.
Jolly good. Let's see what's happening at Kempton. They are racing over the sticks there. Kills, have you got one for us?
Yeah, 3:15. Horse called Brother Ted, trained by Philip Hobbs. He's lightly raced for a 10-year-old these days. He's obviously had his problems, but he returned at Ludlow last time, ran really well, finished second. That'll have teed him up for this. He's never run over fences at Kempton, but he's run 4 times there over hurdles. He's won 3. He finished 4th in a Lanzarote hurdle off a mark of 153. His chase form isn't as good, but I mean, round there he's running off 133 tomorrow. I think he's got to have a massive chance.
Are you going to Kempton?
I am, yeah.
Are you going to be driving or getting public transport and smashing into the Guinness again?
I'll be on public transport. I don't know how much I'll be smashing in though. Depends on how I feel after tonight.
Over under 7.5 pints?
Over, probably.
I won't be drinking 7.5 pints the next month, I promise you. What have you got for us at Kempton, Tom?
Another informed combination. Paul Nicholls, Harry Cobden teaming up with Envoy Special in the 2:05 at Kempton. Nicholls absolutely flying this week. I think 33% strike rate in the last 2 weeks as well. So horses are in fantastic form. Envoy Special really keen last time out when beaten by Glenn Forcer. This is a massive step down in class. He's probably he's likely to be short, but I think he'll win pretty well and can go on to bigger and better things.
Darren, your Kempton cracker is?
Yeah, in the 3:15 tomorrow at Kempton, there's a horse I've been keeping an eye on for a while. He's owned by Tony Bloom, Kansas City Chief, and I think he's primed to have a big run tomorrow in the 3:15. He's had a couple of quiet runs, but last time was a lot more promising. He was sent off at a big price, so you'd imagine there's improvement to come. Hard to know what kind of price he's going to go off, but I think he could run a big race tomorrow.
Lovely, let's get the Saturday naps. Keels.
Oh, Milan's Bar in the Midlands National, 3:35 Utoxa.
Tom.
A horse called Toy Theatre in the 7:15 at Wolverhampton. Won really well last 2 starts for Mick Appleby, an improving mare, and should go really close again.
And Darren.
I'm going to nap Dawson City in the 3:35 in Utoxa. They're going to go against Keels. I think it could go very, very well.
Lovely stuff. Thank you, chaps. Let's look right ahead. 12 months to Cheltenham 2020. It's never too early.
Friends, or maybe more. Earn a 20 quid free bet for every friend you refer to Paddy Power, thanks to our Friends with Benefits programme. Log into your Paddy Power account and share your referral link to get started. Terms and conditions apply. 18+ begambleaware.org.
Welcome back. It's Paul Kealy, Bruce Millington, Tom Collins and Paddy Power's Darren Hughes. Looking ahead to Cheltenham 2020. Yes, I know it's aged. I know everyone gets sick of the road to Cheltenham starting even before the last one's finished. But Paddy Power priced up no fewer than 9 races at the 2020 festival, and who knows, they might have made a rick. Keels, who have you got your early eye on in terms of if there was any value? I mean, 12 months is a long time to incubate a bet, but if there is one, who interests you?
If you want a horse to follow up again, I think it has to be Paisley Park. I mean, he's just improved out of all recognition this season. He won the Stayers Hurdle yesterday easily. He's easily the best staying hurdler around, and he could be around for a fair while because he's only 7. He has that. He has almost like the big bucks and the Ingles Drever sort of hitting flat spots and all that. All those top stayers do that. He did it about 3 times yesterday. Came back on the bridle, flew home. I just think he'll just win again. And
I don't think they've got any plans to stick him over fences, have they? Have we got some, give us a show.
Yeah, so the Stayers Hurdle 2020, Paisley Park is indeed our 3-1 favourite at the moment. City Island, the very impressive Ballymore winner, is 16s. But Palm is 20s, Birchdale is 25s, Sam Spinner is 25s, Lisnager Oscar is 25s. Faugheen is actually 25-1 as well, provided he does come back. I would say that's fairly unlikely. And then Black Op rounds it out at 66-1.
And by the way, wasn't it great? I know that crazy hour yesterday when Bryony won and then Paisley Park won, but Faugheen, I thought it was really gallant in 3rd place in the Stayers. That was great. Now, you're going to look at the Gold Cup, I believe, Tom, aren't you?
Yeah, Gold Cup, top of the game was really impressive in the RSA this year. Beat 2 good horses in Santini and Delta Work. That form's going to be pretty strong. Although Santini may find 1-2 good in quite a few Grade 1 races coming up. Probably the same for Delta Work, to be fair. But top of the game's only improving. That was his first victory over fences. This year's Gold Cup doesn't look the best renewal, and there's quite a few old timers in there away from like Clanders Obo. But I think Nicholls has big and high hopes for this top of the game, and he's a big scopy sort who will stay and loves the Cheltenham Hill.
What price can we get top of the game?
Well, the lads agree with Tom there. They've stuck him in at 8-1 favourite for next year. I think just on the back of, as you said, this year's field doesn't look particularly strong, and there's nothing you're expecting to go again next year. So just give her a full rundown. Clanders Obo then is our 10-1 second fav, presenting Percy as 10s, Santini is 10s, Native River is 14s. Altior is 16s and 25s. We've seen a little bit of money for it.
That's interesting, that.
I think Nicky Henderson has all but ruled out sending him for the Gold Cup. Like, he's actually, somebody said it to him there, I think it was last week, and he said, like, I don't see us ever doing that. But just the manner of his victory on Wednesday, you think that further is going to suit. So they may end up going down that route with him, and then it's 20s bar after that.
The thing is, Kills, there's every chance to go for the King George. If he bolts up in that, he just will be going for the Gold Cup, won't he?
Well, you'd have thought so. I mean, he would have to bolt up and not just cling on, you know what I mean? He's got to prove that he stays it really, really well. But yeah, if he does, then you see him going for it.
I'd take a chance, I think, with Ante at a price. If you were having a bet now, Darren, on the 2020 Cheltenham Festival, who would you be looking at?
A double with Envoy Len for the Ballymore. I think I could not have been more impressed with him on Wednesday. Like, I know the bumper can end up being a Mickey Mouse race, and the winners don't always go on to better things, but that was never the plan for him to win a champion bumper. And I think his game is going to end up being hurdling and chasing. Can't wait to see him next year. He's been so impressive so far. His style of racing is brilliant. When a horse comes to his quarters, he's managed to pull out more. You know, you thought Blue Sardi was going to go by Wednesday. Can't wait to see him next year.
What price is he for the Ballymore?
He is our 12-1 favourite at the moment.
Brilliant. It's amazing, isn't it, how quickly those markets take shape. They'll be betting right throughout the next 12 months. Been a fantastic 4 days here at Cheltenham. Absolutely loved it. But it's time to turn our attention briefly to the flat, because the classic trail kicks off very soon. We've got the Craven, we've got the Greenham 3 weeks from now. So I want one horse each for the lads to follow in the 2019 Classics. Kills, who would you like to put up?
Yeah, well, of course, the horse of John Gosden's that everybody wants to see is Too Darn Hot, and they're expecting him to win the Guineas and maybe go on to the Derby. But John Gosden's got another one called Dubai Warrior, won a maiden at Chelmsford in November. It was only a Mickey Mouse maiden, but it's actually worked out well. I think the well-beaten third is now rated 77, and he's in the Derby. He just looks like he's an out-and-out. He's going to be a proper mile-and-a-half horse, and it's one to watch out for.
Tom?
Well, yeah, I think Too Darn Hot is likely to dominate the Colts division this year, so I'll stick to the fillies. And I think Aidan O'Brien's Goddess has been underestimated in the Oaks market, about 25-1. She won really well on her second start. She should have won on debut, but found all sorts of trouble. Won really well by 10 lengths on her second start, and then you can just put a line through her last run when finishing last of 6 in the Group 3. She's much better than that. Aidan O'Brien's fantastic at producing an Oaks winner, and Goddess is the one for me.
I tell you what, Rafe Beckett, my favourite trainer, he's got a clutch of really good fillies, all with the name Vega in their name, and unless he does a boycott and doesn't run any horses in the Classics, I think he may well play a part in one of the fillies Classics with one of them. Darren, who's your Classic fancy?
The horse I can't wait to see this year is Mad Moon for Kevin Prendergast. I think he was the best juvenile in Ireland last year as far as I'm concerned. I actually think he's better than 10 Sovereigns. I think he's going to improve for a trip. My mole in the yard says they think he's way better than Autad, and we all know how good Autad was. He's a more settled horse. He's more likely to mature into a better 3-year-old. I can see him getting a trip in time, but a mile I think is the plan. Send him straight to the Guineas and see how he gets on, and I cannot wait to see him.
Excellent stuff. Right, that's it. That is a wrap from Cheltenham for 2019. It's been absolutely fantastic. We're going to go home and go to bed. Loads of podcasts next week. We've got the Cheltenham Review on Monday. We've got football on Thursday, golf on Wednesday. We've got racing next Friday, so hopefully you can join us for them. Many thanks to Adam, to Rob and to Sam behind the camera. Great job, guys. Loads more coming up on the Racing Postcasts.
Paddy Power Games has over 250 of your favourites to play online, and we're going to attempt to name them all in this 10-second ad before the T's and C's kick in. There's Blackjack, 18+, begambleaware.org.